ladies and gentlemen? Okay. You just send me. Okay. We'll be starting soon. Thank you.
Now I have a problem to send you by WhatsApp. I don't know. I cannot upload it.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm checking. Download. We're starting in one directly now. So please.
Oke. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Rector of Universitas
morning
Pancasakti
to everyone.
Tegal, Profesor Dr. Taufikullah M. Hum.
Hold a second. Hold a second.
Yeah.
Good morning, Martin. Let me say hello to Martin first.
Hello,
Bisa
hi, hi, Yola.
hi.
Nice to see you.
Hi, nice meeting you. Bisa dipin nggak sebentar, Pak Professor Martin? Okay. Okay. No, we are five now. Thank you so much. Let me screenshot the. Thank you. Yes, please do. Professor Martin, how are you? You good?
I'm good. Yes. Hi,
Okay,
hi, Yola. How are you?
Yeah, I would like to introduce you to Professor Vesna from Serbia. Say hello. Yeah. Okay.
Hello.
Thank you. Okay, Bu Afsud, you may start, please. Okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Rector of Universitas Pancasakti Tegal, Profesor Dr. Taufikullah M. Hum, Dean of Teacher Training and Education Faculty, Universitas Pancasakti Tegal, Dr. Yoga Prihatin MPD, and the Honorable keynote speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, and all the participants of the ICOTION 2026, good morning and welcome to International Conference on Education, ICOTION 2026, Inclusive and Equitable Education in a Digital Society. It's such an honor to welcome you here at this event. I am Absun Aulia and I am your host for today's conference. Ladies and gentlemen, this event will be divided into several segments. First is the opening, second is singing national anthems, third is welcoming remarks from Dean of FKIP UPS Tegal, fourth is plenary session, and the last is closing. Ladies and gentlemen, let us commence this event by saying Basmalah. Ladies and gentlemen, please raise for national anthem of Indonesia Raya, national anthem of Polandia, national anthem of Morocco, national anthem of Russia, and national anthem of Serbia.
دمت منتداه وحماه عشت في الأمطار للعلا عنوان ملء كل جنان ذكرى كل لسان روحي في الجسد حدثتك لبى نداك في فمي وفي دمي هواك تنور ونار إخوتي هيا للعلا سعيا نشهد الدنيا أنا هنا نحيا بشعار الله الوطن الملك
Россия священная наша держава, Россия любимая наша страна, могучая воля, великая слава, твое достояние на все времена. Славься, Отечество, наше свободное, братских народов союз вековой, от южных морей до полярного края раскинулись наши леса и поля. Она ты на свете, она ты такая, хранимая Богом родная земля. Славься, Отечество, наше свободное, братских народов союз вековой, ветками дальняя, мудрость народная. Славься, страна, мы гордимся тобой. Широкий простор для мечты и для жизни грядущие нам открывают гора. Нам силу дает наша верность отчизне, как было, так есть и так будет всегда. Славься, Отечество, наше свободное, братских народов союз вековой, ветками дальняя,
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like now to invite Dean of FK UPS Tegal, Dr. Yoga Prihatin MPD. Please do.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the Master of Ceremony for calling me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Distinguished Rector of Universitas Pancasakti Tegal, Indonesia, Professor Dr. Taufikullah M. The honorable guests and keynote speakers today, Master-in-Law and Advocate Karolina Lemanska from Tarnowska School Jasa, Poland, Professor Vesna Tonjanski, PhD from the University of Belgrade, Serbia, and Associate Professor Mansenia Svetlana Chujevina, PhD from Samara State Technical University, Professor Dr. Honoris Causa Martin Dahl from Lazarski University, Poland, Professor Justina Bocalio, PhD from Wrocław University, Poland, and Dr. Joseph Bakil from Sultan Mulay Slimana University, Morocco, and our distinguished speaker from Universitas Pancasakti Tegal, Dr. Titi Kusrina MPD, and our moderator, Ibu Anin Eka Sulistia. I also warmly welcome the chairperson of the committee, Ibu Isrotun Nisti Utami, and all the dedicated committee team members who have worked tirelessly to make this conference possible. Most importantly, I welcome our enthusiastic participants, the undergraduate students from Faculty of Teacher Training and Education, and the master degree students from in pedagogy, who are the future educators and leaders of our nation's Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, today we gather not just as scholars for a better future. Our theme, inclusive and equitable education and a digital society, is more than a title. It is a call to actions in a world where technology connects us instantly. We must ensure that no learner is left behind because of their background, ability, or locations. We are honored to have experts from Poland, Russia, Serbia, Morocco, and Indonesia sharing their insight today. Their diverse perspective will enrich our understanding of how to build educational systems that are fair, accessible, and innovative. To our students, especially our bachelor degree of Faculty of Teacher Training and Education and master degree of Pedagogy, this is your moment. Listen, ask questions, and observe the knowledge shared here. The future of inclusive education depends on your patience and commitment. I thank to the committee once again for organizing this conference, and I wish all the participants a productive and inspiring sessions. Let us work together to make education a bridge, not a barrier, for every learner in the digital age. Thank you so much and welcome to ICOTION 2026. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Yoga Prihatin MPD, Dean of Teacher Training and Education Faculty, Universitas Pancasakti Tegal. And ladies and gentlemen, the next agenda is a plenary session. I would like to give it to Ibu Anin Eka Sulistiawati MHum to be a moderator for the next couple of hours. Ibu Anin Eka Sulistiawati, the time is yours.
Thank you so much, Ibu Afsun. Good afternoon to Indonesian participants and good morning, the honorable speakers from different countries. The distinguished Rector of Universitas Pancasakti Tegal, Dean of Teacher Training and Education Faculty, our keynote speakers and participants, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce myself. My name is Anin. It gives me a great pleasure to be the moderator for the International Conference on Digital Literacy Pedagogy in Teacher Education, or ICOTION 2026, Faculty of Teacher Training and Education. Inclusive education has been rapidly developed. In today's seminar, we will get a closer look into that theme: inclusive and equitable education in digital society. Well, ladies and gentlemen, first I'd like to read a brief introduction to our keynote speakers. We would bring this session into two parts. To the time limitation, each speaker will deliver their materials in 10 minutes. Oh yeah. Check. Yeah. Okay, sorry for this inconvenience condition, yeah. Um, I'd repeat, ladies and gentlemen, first I'd like to read a brief introduction to our keynote speakers. We would bring this session into two parts. Due to the time limitation, each speaker will deliver their materials in 10 minutes. Okay. Check. Okay, in part one, we have three honorable speakers: Prof. Justina Bokalyo, Associate Prof. Titi Kusrina, and Prof. Martin Dal. Let us share the CV of our keynote speakers. Okay. Yeah, thank you, operator. Well, let us share the CV of our keynote speakers. Our first keynote speaker is Prof. Justina Bokailo, the assistant professor at Wrocław University, Poland. Can you please, yeah, make it larger? Okay. Prof. Justina Bokailo is an economist and political scientist whose research focuses on European economic governance, Polish-German relations, energy policy, digital transformation, and artificial intelligence. She has collaborated with major institutions, including the National Bank of Poland, and has received recognition from several prestigious academic foundations and organizations. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, now allow me to welcome our first keynote speaker, Prof. Justina Bokailo, to deliver her presentation.
Thank you so much. I just want to ask if can you hear me good, properly?
Yes, it's clear.
Yes. Okay. So I tried to share my screen with the presentation.
Yes, please.
Mhm. Give me a second, please, because I have some problem.
Or can we help you to share screen?
Yes, if it will be possible, I will be really grateful if you can share my presentation, if you help me, because I have some technical problem
Okay.
here and maybe some... I don't want to prolong, so I would be grateful to use your help.
Okay. Okay, Prof. Justina, time will be yours.
Super. Thank you so much. Thank you for help. Dear ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you very much for inviting me to this conference on inclusive and equitable education in a digital society. I would like to send a special thanks for Professor Yoga Prikatin and also to Professor Martin Dahl, who recommended me to this conference. Thank you, and it's very nice to see you and to meet everybody. Today, I would like to share with you the topic Green Curriculum in the Age of Twin Transformation and to explain some Polish perspective on political economy and sustainability, because this is my field of one of my fields of knowledge. Can we please skip to first slide? Thank you. So I would like to look at green curriculum from the perspective of international economic relations, political economy, institutional economics, and of course European integration. And I would not speak only about environmental education or lists of good practice. Today my question is, how should we teach sustainability in countries which, like Poland and many other countries, have to redesign their energy, digital, economic, and institutional model at the same time? I suggest that green curriculum should not be environmental and at odds to existing programs, but education about transformation. It should not teach sustainability only as a value. It should develop to the ability to understand and govern the conflicts of the twin transformation, green and in digital at the same time, through political economy, institutional analysis, and international economic relations. This matters because terms such as sustainability, CSR, ESG, and social responsibility are now widely used by universities, companies, public administration, and strategic documents, but words do not yet mean really change. My question is not only whether we speak about sustainability, but whether we can define it, measure it, complement it as and understand as a social, economic, and conflictual process. This approach is consistent with international framework. UNESCO, for example, stress a holistic approach to climate and sustainability in curricula. The European Green Comp frameworks shows that sustainability competences include knowledge, skills, attitudes, responsibility, and the ability to act. Now we can skip to next slide. Thank you. What do I speak not only about green transformation, but about, why do I speak not only about green transformation, but about twin transformation? Because contemporary sustainability is increasingly mediated to digital technologies, decarbonization, energy efficiency, ESG reporting, emissions analysis, and public political design are more and more based on data, algorithm, and digital infrastructure. By twin transformation, I mean two processes taking place at the same time. The green transition changes the energy production and consumption model towards lower emissions, resources efficiency, and climate resilience. And the digital transformation means the growing role of data, algorithm, automation, AI, digital reporting, and new technological infrastructures. This process cannot be analyzed separately. Digitalization can support the green transition, but it's not only but it's not automatically sustainable. It requires energy, raw materials, infrastructure, and skills, and it may create new inequalities. Therefore, a green curriculum without digital competences is incomplete, but a digital curriculum without a sustainability perspective is risky. The European Commission's Joint Research Center also notes that the green and digital transformation can reinforce each other, but they can also collide. Poland is use case studies not only because it offered a model to copy. It's interesting because it clearly shows the tension of structural transformation. By structural transformation, I mean a change in the development model, energy, economic, technological, institutional, and social. And it's not only about replacing one source of energy with another, it's about redesign the relationship between the state, the market, society, technology, and the environment. This transformation has measurable effects in Poland, but it's also reveals the limits of the previous model. According to Forum Energy, in 2024, the share of coal in Poland electricity, as you see here in the slide, generation falls to 56.2%, while renewables reached 29.4%. This shows a real change. At the same time, the energy system still requires modernization, investment in grids and storage, stable regulation, and institutional coordination, of course. The National Energy and Climate Plan in Poland, adopted in June 2026, confirms that energy transformation in Poland is multidimensional. It includes energy security, emission reduction, energy efficiency, and also economic competitiveness. If we ask about higher education, there is no single wider recognized country ranking that directly measure green curriculum in university programs. Rankings such as, for example, QS sustainability rankings, the sustainability impact rating, or UI green metrics shows that sustainability has become an important dimension of university activity, but they do not provide the study programs really teach critical understanding of transformation conflict. Please, let's skip to next slide. Thank you. In the Polish case, I see 5 such conflicts. The first is decarbonization versus energy security. Poland has to reduce emission and move away from coal, but also provide stable, affordable, and secure energy. In education, this is not a simple dispute between technologies, but a question of security, investment, institutions, and social legitimacy. The second conflict is European climate goals versus the national development path. Poland operates within the European Green Deal, the ETS system, Fit for 55, Cohesion and Just Transformation Instrument, and regulations such as CSRD and ESRS. This instrument provides direction and modernization pressures, but they must be reconciled with the national economic structure, the historical role of coal, energy in intense industry, regional dependence on mining, labor markets needs, and household holds. CSRD also shows that sustainability is moving from narrative to data, standards, and accountability. The third conflict is economic efficiency versus social justice. The World Bank has indicated that reaching net zero in Poland by 2050 could bring a cumulative GDP increase around 4% and create jobs in green sectors. But the costs are not distributed equally. Political economy asks, who pays, who benefits, who loses, and who remains outside the system of support? The fourth conflict is technology versus institutions. We often assume that renewables, nuclear energy, hydrogen storage, artificial intelligence, or smart grids will solve the problem. But technology alone, it's not enough. Transformation require rules, coordination, trust, predictability, and organizational capacity. This is the perspective of institutional economics. And the fifth conflict is sustainability as a slogan versus sustainability as a practice. We can speak the language of ESG, includes sustainability development goals in strategies, and still not deeply change how institutions operate. So this is why education must teach not only the vocabulary of sustainability, but critical analysis of what stands behind it: data, cost, interest, institutions, or accountability. Let's please skip to the last slide.
Okay,
So very
some
shortly.
reminder that you still have one more left, one minute. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I just skip to resume. I just only see that there is a missing still education scientific publication, which taking this things we are speaking about together. And approach in Poland is not only is only partly and isolated ways. So we can see languages, some documents, but we still do not see a sufficiently coherent education framework connecting the green and digital transformation with political economy, institutional economics, and international economics relations. This process is coming slowly because the transformation is institutional, of course, difficult. And what I would like to show that the political economies shows interest, power, costs, winners and losers. Institutional economics shows rules, trust, coordination, and organization capacities, and international economic relations shows that transformation does not stop the national borders. It depends on European Union, global values chains, and also not European countries. So let me finish with one thought. If sustainability remains a slogan, it may create agreement without real transformation. But if it becomes a political, institutional, economic, and digital competence, it can prepare societies to manage change. This is why green curriculum in the age of twin transformation should not be only education about the environment, but should be education about economy, institutions, technology, justice, and global interdependence. I'm very sorry for taking a longer time, but thank you for your attention.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Prof. Justina. The closing thought is very awesome, yeah. And it also gives us a good insight on seeing transformation in education through green curriculum. Thank you, Prof. Justina.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, yeah. Well, let us go to the second keynote speaker. Please prepare the CV. Okay, well, for the speakers and also our audiences, we have two parts, yeah. In every part, yeah, we have 2 until 3 questions for the speaker. So please, you can prepare the questions. Yeah, the CV. Okay, well, the second keynote speaker is Associate Prof. Dr. Titi Kusrina. Yeah, she is an Associate Professor of Civic Education and Social Sciences at Universitas Pancasakti Tegal, Indonesia, where she also serves as Secretary of the Postgraduate Program. Her scholarly work includes more than 30 national and international publications and several academic books, with research interests centered on civic education, social sciences, and community engagement. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, now allow me to welcome our second keynote speaker, Associate Prof. Dr. Titi Kusrina, with the material about inclusive education in digital society. Do you want to share your materials by yourself, ma'am?
Okay, thank you, Miss Anin.
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good morning. Cek.
Yes.
Masuk, suara saya
Clear,
masuk?
clear voice. Yeah.
Oke. Thank you. Mana? Sini. Satu. Okay, thank you. Permission of submit to the Honorable Rektor Universitas Pancasila Tegal, to the Honorable Dekan Budin, the Honorable Polandia, Maroko, Rusia, Serbia. Okay. Inclusive and equitable social student education in the digital society. Introduction and contemporary from work differentiation inclusive equitable education in digital society. Blackrock and apa ini? Ini apa Bu? Ini apa sih? Well, inclusive social student matter in Indonesia, Indonesia, 7,000 Islands, 300 ethnic group, 6 of Island religion, 217 digital acceleration, rule of IPS, justice imperative, digital acceleration past pandemic digital has granted new operated and new form of execution assistance Indonesia. 3.8 rule of IPS student social student IPS cultivated civic education and democracy balance and social responsibility and conversion of national character. Just the discipline must address digital security, media liberty, and algorithmic inequality, accessibility to all learners. Kira katon Bu. Terry under for MICOM 10 quantitative material. Universitas Design for Lady Cat 2000 and needs critical pedagogy, cultural representative teaching, digital equality from what the Indonesia the Indonesia education landscape, social realism, reform and the digital transition. Cell and complex on the what's less and most geographical different system. Fish to win student 430 school natural well 6 teacher employed 3 elite provinsi West asset 300 ethnic group cultural differences. Knowledge geographic dispersion scientific Townsend Islamic infrastruktur present urban rural friendly gap 3T regional foremost outermost level left unrelated underfed quality disparity of equality teaching, sort of teaching IPS social in remote areas. Has varied digital formatted broad branding in Java, no community in Answer Islamic. Kurikulum Merdeka in Indonesia from an Islamic for IPS. From curriculum, from context, helping, exam, driven schooling, project-based, completed for just our set later center education. Profil pelajar Pancasila, project PVET, project profit, capaian pembelajaran, asesmen nasional, platform Merdeka Mengajar, IPS integration. Profil pelajaran Pancasila, SIG character dynamics, generation, fan, global diversity, collaboration, creativity, critical thinking, and self-regulation. VFF project ya, cross disciplinary project based learning for fostering real world problem solving and civic engagement. Capaian pembelajarannya itu learning outcome reflected grounded comprehended certain grand their teacher and school on autonomy. Asesmen nasional, reflect and exam fokus on literasi, numerasi, and survei lingkungan belajar. Platform Merdeka, digital platform teaching for education, float and professional IPS program. Lalu equality gap and digital Indonesia, distribution of equality, ada geographic, sosial, gender, disgender, disability, ethnic, regional. Ada the three level digital div, ada asset divide ya, ada asset, skill, quality. Nah, yang selanjutnya for list social student education, ada pillar of education IPS, ada cultural responsive collaborative grounded, universitas design for learning, critical digital literacy, democratic participatory civil agency, teacher strategic equality consensus. Pilar 3 critical digitalisasi in detail. Lalu digital to and pedagogy strategi recommended in digital tour for IPS, offline fish and love test and strategi, curriculum integration Pancasila IPS in the Pancasila for ada ketuhanan, kemanusiaan, persatuan, cepet teman sih. Oke.
Okay, thank you, Bu Dr. Rina. Ya, it was a good insight about inclusive education in digital society, especially in Indonesian curriculum. It was independent curriculum. Yeah, And the last speaker in this session is Prof. Martin Dahl. Okay. Yes, it is my pleasure to introduce Prof. Dr. Honoris Causa Martin Dahl, the Dean of the Faculty of Economics and Management at Lazarski University, Warsaw, Poland. His expertise includes economic policy, political economy, sustainable development, and the European Green Deal. He leads numerous international and EU-funded projects and is widely recognized for fostering global academic collaboration and innovation in higher education. Without further ado, now allow me to welcome our third keynote speaker, Prof. Martin Dahl.
Hello to everyone. Can you hear me and see me?
Hello? Yes,
Hello?
it's very clear. Prof.
Okay, so first of all, I would like to thank all of you for the distinguished rector, the distinguished dean, and all our colleagues for inviting me to this today's plenary session. The theme of this conference, inclusive and equitable education in a digital learning environment, encourage us to consider not only now how technology can improve education, but also how it changes learning, responsibility, and academic integrity. Yes? So that's why I would like to yes. I would like to present my speech about from AI detection to AI literacy, rethinking academic integrity in higher education. So, how my main goal was how AI is changing the educational environment nowadays. So, my central argument is quite simple. Universities should not focus primarily on detecting whether students have used AI or not. They should focus more whether students can think, argue, evaluate information, and take responsibility for the work that they submit. This doesn't mean accepting academic misconduct. It means adapting our understanding of academic integrity to a new technological reality. When generative AI...
Will you share the materials by yourself, or should we help you to sharing screen?
One moment. I will try. One moment.
Okay.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So we got it. Yes,
Thank you.
thank you. So going to the next slide. When generative AI becomes widely available, many universities will respond with prohibition or detection. They ask, for example, did the students write this independently? What is assignment generated by AI? Or how they use the chat of GDP? These concerns are understandable. Universities must ensure that degrees reflect genuine knowledge and competences. Students should not receive credit for work they do not understand or did not meaningfully produce. However, an approach based mainly on detection has serious limitations. AI detection systems do not establish authorship with certainty. They produce probability sources based on linguistic patterns. Their results may also change when text is edited, translated, or perhaps. Research has raised concerns that such systems may unfairly clarify some text written by non-native English speakers as AI generated. This is particularly important in international and inclusive education. Therefore, an AI detection score should never be treated as proof of misconduct. Technological suspicion cannot replace academic judgment, dialogue with the students, and fair institutional procedures. Even if AI detections became perfectly accurate, it would still answer only one question: was AI involved? But the more important questions are: what did the student understand? What intellectual decisions did the student make? Can the student evaluate the reliability of sources, identify the errors or limitations, and so on? A student may use AI and still engage in meaningful learning. Another student may submit an apparently original paper with understanding very little. For this reason, the presence of absence of AI cannot become our main measure of academic integrity. Instead of asking only whether students use AI, universities should teach them how to use it responsibly. This is what I mean by AI literacy. AI literacy is not simply the ability to write a prompt, it includes at least 5 competences. First, understanding AI limitations. Students must know that generative AI can produce fluent and convincing answers for the incomplete, biased, or incorrect. Fluency must not be confused with accuracy. Second, critical verifications. Students should verify AI-generated claims against reliable academic sources. They should ask, what does the information come from? Can it be confirmed independently? Other references gain you, and so on. Third is transparency. Students should disclose when and how AI was used. For example, AI might support brainstorming, language correction, outlining of or feedback on an early draft. A useful principle is: do not present AI-generated work as evidence of competence that you were personally expected to demonstrate. Fourth is responsibility. Even when AI contributes to the assignment, the student remains responsible for the final submission. The student must understand the content, verify and accept responsibility for errors, invented references, and conclusions. And fifth is ethical judgment. Students should understand issues such as privacy, intellectual property, unequal access to advanced tools, or automated assistance. AI literacy must therefore combine technical competence with critical and ethical awareness. So we need to rethink our assessment. The university must also reconsider how they assess the students. If an assignment can be completed by entering our simple instruction into an AI system, we should ask whether the assignment still measures the intended learning outcomes. Traditional assessment often focus on the finished text. However, learning take place during the process of defining the problem, choosing evidence, comparing interpretations, rejecting weak arguments, and responding to criticism. Assessments should therefore make the students' thinking visible. Students may submit drafts, research notes, sources evaluations, or short reflections explaining how the argument developed. They may be asked to disclose AI use and explain how the generated information was verified. A written assignment may be followed by a brief oral discussion in which the students defend the main decisions. Teacher may also ask students to analyze an AI-generated response, identify its weakness, and improve it. Such methods do not attempt to create an artificial world without AI. They evaluate whether students can use modern tools without surrendering the judgment. So academic integrity cannot be protected only through surveillance. Students need clear and consistent rules. They should know which forms of AI use are permitted with disclosed or prohibited. These rules should depend on the purpose of the assignment. So using AI to correct language is not the same as using to generate a complete analysis. Using AI in a course on digital innovation might be appropriate, while using it during an examination of independent knowledge might be not. Teachers also need institutional support in this case. and so on. This debate is directly connected to the theme of today's conference. AI can support inclusion. It may help students understanding difficult concepts, practice a foreign language, review feedback, or overcome our educational barriers. But AI may also deepen inequality. Not all students have equal access to advanced systems, reliable internet, or strong digital competences. Students with better technological and academic support will often use AI more efficiently than those left to learn through trial and error. Therefore, simply allowing AI does not create equal opportunity. Universities must teach responsible use and ensure, as far as possible, equitable access to appropriate tools. They must also avoid over-reliance on detection systems that may treat international students or not native speakers unfairly. A system designed to protect integrity must not itself become a source of inequality. 5 principles for universities that they should follow. First is clarity. The second is transparency. Third, verification. Students must check, for example, the accuracy of reliability of AI-generated content. Fourth is process-based assessment. And fifth, human responsibility. AI must support judgment, but it's not replaces. To conclude, I would like to say that generative AI, one moment, I would just, sorry. Okay. Once again, to conclude, AI has not made academic integrity less important. It has focused us to define it more precisely. Academic integrity cannot simply mean working without technological assistance. Education has always involved tools, books, calculators, search engine, databases, and statistical software. The central issue is not whether a tool was used. The central issue is whether the students remain the author of the intellectual decisions. Did the student understand the problem? Did the student evaluate the evidence, justify the conclusion? And finally, did the students communicate transparently? Universities should respond to dishonest use of AI, but detection alone will not prepare students for the world of which they will live in and work. Our task is not to produce graduates who know how to hide the use of AI. Our task should be to educate graduates who know when to use it, how to question it, how to verify it, when to reject its answer, and how to remain responsible for their own judgments. Thank you so much for your attention. And if there are any questions, I'm open to and ready to answer them. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Prof. Martindale. It's interesting that AI detection score is not the main measurement. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, 3 speakers in the first part have already finished delivering their materials. For next, I invite 2 participants who have raised their hands to open the microphone and mention to whom your question is addressed, or you can type on chat box. Yeah, you can type on chat box, or you can raise your hands if you have some questions. Okay, there are 2 presenters, two participants who have raised their hands. The first is Dika Julianto. Okay, Dika Julianto. Yeah, yes, you can deliver your question.
Okay. Can you hear my voice clearly?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. So before I ask my question, I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Dika
Yeah.
Ananda Julianto. I am from English Education Department, and I would like to ask, I think, specifically to the honorable and also distinguished Professor Martin. Uh, the title of the presentation earlier was about AI detections.
Yeah.
AI literacy is more important than AI detections. What I want to ask is that how can we as maybe students improve our own AI literacy? Yeah, I think that's my questions, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Will you serve the answer now, or we move to the next question, sir?
I think that we can collect all the questions, yes, and then I will try to answer them collectively, yes.
Okay. Let us move to the next question. Mbak Cinta, ya. Halo. Okay, Cinta. Are you ready to, yes, to deliver the question?
Is my voice clear, Miss?
Yes, it's clear. Cinta means love. Yeah, it is Indonesian. Yeah, cinta means love. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Miss
Cinta.
Nadine, for leading these sessions. Good afternoon, professors and distinguished speakers. Thank you for your insightful presentations. My name is Cinta Lonera Halaste from Pancasakti University, Tegal. I would like to direct my questions to Prof. Justina Pokalja, PhD. Good afternoon, Prof. Yeah. In your presentation, you emphasized that the important role of education in driving sustainability transformation. However, since many sustainability challenges are deeply rooted in political, economic, and institutional systems, I would like to ask, how far do you think education alone can contribute to meaningful transformation without broader policy and institutional reforms? That's my questions. Thank you for your attention.
Okay. Yeah. We only open 2 questions only for this session. So please, Prof. Martin or Prof. Justina, you can serve your answers.
Okay, so to answer the question how students can improve the AI literacy, I think they can improve by developing both practical and critical skills. First, they should, in my opinion, understand the basic terms how generative AI works and recognize that it can produce fluent but inaccurate, incomplete, or wrong answers. For this reason, students should always verify important claims, references, and data using reliable academic sources. So they should also learn how to formulate clear prompts, compare different responses, and improve weak AI-generated content instead of accepting the first answer. So critical thinking, going deeper, trying to check different sources, and make it just more responsible and more transparent by using. I think they must also protect personal and confidential information and avoid entering sensitive data into AI systems. Remember that AI is collecting everything, and we don't know how it will be used in the future. Most importantly, we should remain responsible for the final result. Yes, so AI should support the thinking, but not replace it. The key competence is knowing just when to use AI, how to question it, and how to correct it, and when to reject its answers completely. Yes. So I would just answer this question like this.
Okay, well, yeah. The best statement that I can get is AI should support us, not replace us. Yeah, our thought. Okay. Thank you, Prof. Martin. Hope it can answer your question, Dika.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you so much,
Yeah.
Professor Martin.
Yeah. Now can I answer?
Yes, Professor Sina. Yes, you can answer
thank you.
the second question.
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. I was also thinking how is possible and how education can improve sustainability without public and other institutions. But I think that education cannot fully improve sustainability with these institutions because sustainability is a systemic issue. So by education, we can still play in a powerful role in some ways. For example, education can build awareness and critical understanding. So students should not only learn that sustainability is important, but they should understand energy, climate, inequality, consumption, technology, and economic trade-offs. Education can develop practical competences, of course, like data analysis, problem solving, systemic thinking, and holistic thinking. Digital skills, as also Martin mentioned, and ability to assess environmental and social impact. The education universities can change individual and community practice. Universities can model sustainability through campus policies, waste reduction, sustainability mobility, procurement, and also some students' projects. And what education can do can also pressure and can create pressure and capacity for some kind of institutional changes, like graduates entry in public administration, business, schools, media, international organization, and can learn transform from this institution from within. I think that also what is important here is train academic staff, help lecturers to understand how sustainability relates to their own disciplines. It was what I was talking about also. So it's not treated as an isolated topic. And maybe one more thing. So create international standards. Universities can adopt sustainability, ethical investment, green mobility policies, transparent reporting, or ESG style accountability. And we should learn it how to do it also from business, from some institutions, from organization. So to conclude, I think that university cannot replace the state, business, or public institutions, but can have more impact to cooperate with this institution. It can transform itself into living laboratory of sustainability by changing curricula, reducing its own environmental how it called footprint, training staff, or producing evidence, and maybe preparing graduates who understand the conflicts and responsibilities of transformation.
Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I do agree that sustainability is a systemic issue, and university and also the university students can support it.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, I think that the education is the first way how to learn young people, and also not only universities, but also we should start from primary, secondary education. How we should learn to live more sustainable and more, and how we should include the society to this sustainable environment, not excluded, but include from the very first ages. But also universities' role is here very important, especially as we are here in international environment. We should cooperate in this program as institutions, as public institutions cooperate each other. We should cooperate like universities to universities, or universities business and also public institution. I think that this holistic way of thinking is the most important here, not doing everything separately, like separately institutions, separately universities, separately societies, because it is the way to know way.
Yeah, it's like an ecosystem. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Hope it can give you a better insight. Yeah, Cintaloni. Thank you for the question.
Thank you.
And well, before I close this first plenary session, I would like to invite the keynote speakers to get the certificate of our appreciation. Give applause to our outstanding speakers, or you can give some reactions, yeah, with some emo, yeah. The reaction, okay, thank you so much for the reactions. And please, operator, share the certificate. Yeah, thank you for the reactions. Now, the first certificate of appreciation is for Prof. Justin Bocalio. Yeah, thank you so much, Prof. Justina.
Thank you so much. It was an honor to be with you, with such a distinguished speakers and guests and students. I'm very happy, and I hope we see soon in some another conference or seminar. I also very warmly invite you to Poland. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the invitation, and we hope to see you again next time. Yeah. Yeah. The next certificate of appreciation, yeah, this is to certify that Dr. Titi Kusrina MPD, yeah, our second keynote speaker from UPS Tegal, yeah, give some reactions.
Okay.
Dear participants, yeah, thank you, Dr. Rina. Okay, thank you so much, yeah. And the last certificate of appreciation, yes, for Prof. Dr. Honoris Clausa Martin Dal. Okay, thank you, Prof. Martin. Hope we can see you again next time.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you so much. Yes, I hope to see you soon again. Thank you so much.
It's like harvest time, yeah, to get many reactions. Okay. Well, for the keynote speakers, thank you for being here. And if you still have time to be here, it's okay. Or if you still have another agenda, you can leave this room. Yeah. Oh yeah, our dean would like to say thanks to Prof. Martin and Prof. Justina.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for being with us today, Professor Dr. Honoris Causa Martindal and Professor Justina Bocalio. We are very happy to have you here, and it is always a great honor for my faculty, to the Training and Education faculty. Hopefully, we will be in touch again in the future, in the near future. I think Professor Martin will be here in October. I see you in October.
Yes, thank you so much once again, Professor Yoga Prihatin. So it was a great pleasure for me just to being here, and please take my apologizes for the last time yes I couldn't join last week. Yes, but see you soon. Yes, so thank you.
In October. Bye
bye.
Bye.
Dear Dean, Professor Yoga Prihatin, yeah, I also would like to say thank you very much, and I also warm regards you and your faculty, and what are you doing like in international cooperation. It's really great honor and pleasure to always to be with you. This is my second conference with you, and I'm very happy and looking forward for another meetings also in Poland. And thank you, Martin, for introducing me to Professor Yoga. Thank you.
It's an honor. It's an honor, Professor. Bye.
See you again.
Thank you, Miss Yoga.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are moving to second part in plenary session. In the session, there will be 4 keynote speakers. We are honored to welcome Dr. Yosef Bakil. Yeah, the CV, please. Oh,
Bu
yeah.
Ani cek dulu ya, please. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Yosef Bakil.
Hello and good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Hello, Mrs.
Hello.
Carolina Lemanska. Yeah.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, yoga and whole Society of University Pankasakti and distinguished guests and lectures. It's pleasure to meet you and see you again.
Thank you for being here, Professor Dr. Yosef Bakil and Professor Carolina. The floor is yours. Bu Ani, go on, Bu Ani.
Yes, okay, thank you. We are honored to welcome Dr. Yosef Bakil, a senior executive at Morocco's Ministry of Interior. Where is the CV? Yes, okay. Okay, I will help the participants to get to know to Mr. Bakil, yeah. Okay, thank you, operator. Yes, Dr. Yosef Bakil is a senior executive at Morocco's Ministry of Interior. His expertise lies in public law, political science, intercultural communication, and digital literacy. As an international conference speaker, he has presented across Asia and Africa, promoting dialogue between governance, education, and cross-cultural understanding. Please welcome Dr. Yosef Bakil to deliver his presentation.
Thank you for this nice presentation. Hello, everyone, and good morning. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. So today my presentation it will be about the digital equity in education, put to the test of advanced regionalization and guaranteeing the right to equitable digital education in Morocco between administrative requirements and the imperative of spatial justice. I hope the moderator can share my presentation with the audience, please.
Okay, we will help you to share the materials.
Thank you.
Wait for a moment.
Yes, please.
Okay, is it yours?
Yes, please.
Okay,
The next slide, please.
next. Yes.
As an introduction, the research question of this communication or discussion. It's how does the Moroccan legal framework, especially framework law number 5117, the decentralization process and the role of the regional academies of education and training, the ARIF, organize equitable access to digital educational tools, and to what extent does it succeed in narrowing the digital divide between urban and rural or disadvantaged areas. So Morocco's digital, to answer this question, of course, Morocco's digital transformation of education did not emerge in a vacuum. It is embedded into parallel and interacting reforms. The Advanced Regionalization Project, launched in 2015, which redistributes competence from the central state to elected regional bodies, and the reform of the education system inaugurated by the 2015-2030 strategic vision and consolidated by framework law number 5117 of 2019. Both reforms share a common ambition, reducing territorial inequality, yet they pursue in different logics. Regionalization toward political and administrative devolution, education reform toward the constitutional guarantee of a right to quality education for all. The digital divide in Morocco schools sits precisely in the intersection of these two logics: connectivity, equipment, teacher training, and digital content depend as much on national legal guarantees as the operational capacity of regional actors to implement them on the ground. This communication asks whether current legal and institutional architecture is capable of converting a formally guaranteed rights, equitable access to digital education into a materially confiscable one, or whether is instead reproduced at a decentralization scale the very spatial disparities it was designed to correct. Next slide, please. The normative framework law number 5117, and the constitutional grounding of digital equity. Framework law number 5117, relating to the education, training, and scientific research system, was adopted by Parliament in 2019 and promulgated by Decree number 113 of 9 August 2019. It is presented by its drafters as the first framework law ever adopted in this sector in Moroccan legislative history. Intended to translate the recommendations of the 2015-2030 strategic vision into a binding, durable legal instrument rather than pressing sectoral policies. Two features of the law are directly relevant to digital equity. The first one, it is explicitly ground the education system in the constitutional principles of equality, of opportunity, and social and territorial cohesion. Framing digitalization not as a technical added one, but as a vector of inclusion for learners regardless of their place of residence, social conditions, or disability. Second, it commits the state to a phased executive plan, application law, decree, and ministerial decisions. Third, which the regionalization of information and communication technologies in teaching, teacher training, and the modernization of educational governance were to be operationalized. The normative premise, please next slide. The normative premise is therefore strong digital access is framed as an instrument of the constitutional right to education, not a discretionary benefit. The difficulty lies in the law on architecture as a framework law number 5117 sets objectives and principles, but defer their technical content to a large body of subsequent regulatory texts. Several years after promulgation, an important share of this regulatory cascade application law, decrees, and ministerial decision announced by the ministry has only been partially adopted, which leaves the digital equity provisions of the law without the full set of binding, enforceable norms needed for uniform territorial application. Territorial governance, the regional academies of education and training, the ARIF, and the local authorities. Advanced regionalization transfers a significant share of educational governance to the regional academies of education and training public establishment. Please, next slide. Yes, please. Advanced regionalization transfers a significant share of educational governance to the regional academies of education and training, public establishments created by law number 0700 and repositioned of the operational arm of the ministry at the regional level. In principles, ARIFs are responsible for adapting national digital education policy to local conditions, equipping schools, organizing teacher training in digital pedagogy, and coordinating with regional councils and local authorities on infrastructure and connectivity investments. This devolution is meant to bring decisions making closer to territorial needs, since disparities in connectivity, electricity, supply, and equipment between, for example, the Rabat Saleh Kenitra region and remote areas of the southeast cannot realistically be addressed by a single uniform national program. Is regional actors, including the Association of Regions of Morocco, have publicly stressed that a Guinean digital transformation of public services, including, of course, education, requires light infrastructure, financed through partnerships between the regions, the state, and institutional or international partners. Together, of course, with a regional workforce training to sustain that infrastructure. Yet the same devolution exposed a structural weakness identified in Morocco's now development model for ARIFs to act as an effective equalizer of digital opportunities. They need Guinean decision-making power and real autonomy including over budget and human resource, oversight, assessment of arrive. Governors have found that thematic committees, the very body means to steer strategic priorities, such as digital equipment, meet regularly, often convented only in a compressed manner shortly before the four director session governance. In practice, therefore, remain oriented towards administrative compliance with the reporting requirement rather than toward pedagogical performance calibrated of local needs. We share precisely the tension named in the title of this communication. Next slide, please.
Okay, well, you still have 1 minute left. Yeah.
Okay, 2 minutes and they will finish, please. Thank you. So implementation challenges, legal and material obstacle to an inclusive digital transition. The three categories of obstacle recur when the digital equity provisions of the legal framework meet the reality of territorial execution. The first one is the financial and infrastructural obstacle. The second one in institutional and legal obstacle. The third one is human resource and pedagogical obstacle. Next slide, please. Concluding remarks and avenue for reform, guaranteeing a keenly equitable right to digital education in Morocco requires move on three fronts, simultaneously completing the regulatory text still with under framework law number 5117. So that digital equity obligations become directly enforceable, granting arrives to real budgetary and decision-making autonomy recommended by new development model, coupled with the performance-based accountability rather than the mere administrative reporting and formalizing state-region contractual mechanism, territorial digital equity, contracts with the measurable indicator that tie regional financing to the specific connectivity and equipment deficit of each academy. Special justice in digital education will remain aspirational as long as administrative complaints rather than measured territorial outcomes continue to define institutional success. The last slide, please, and thank you so much. That's all about my presentation. Thank you for your attention.
Well, okay. Thank you, Dr. Bakil.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, in the inclusive education is an opportunity for all learners. Yeah, we do agree. Next, we move to the next speaker. She is Advocate Carolina Lemanska Tarnowska. Hello, Miss. Yeah. The CV, please.
Yes, sorry. Do you hear me?
Yes. Let us share your CV first, Miss.
So I should stop sharing, okay?
Yes,
Yeah.
okay, thank you.
Yes, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, Advocate Carolina Lemanska Tarnowska is Vice Rector for Development and International Cooperation at Tarnowska School of Higher Education in Poland.
A practicing attorney and experienced academic, she specialized in business and education law. With over 2 decades of teaching and leadership experience, she actively promotes international partnerships and legal education across Holland and the European Union. Now, please welcome Advocate Carolina Lemanska-Tarnowska. Let us pay attention on her material. Mrs. Tarnowska, please do.
Yes, thank you. Dear Yoga, dear guests, colleagues, speakers, and participants, thank you very much for the invitation. Is my presentation seen now?
Yes.
Yes, perfect. Thank you very much. Today, I would like to present student-centered learning from the perspective of practice-oriented higher education institution. I will focus on 3 interconnected dimensions: flexibility, digital technologies, and quality enhancement. Why this topic matters now? The theme of today's conference, inclusive and equitable education in a digital learning environment, raises a fundamental question. How can higher education become more accessible and responsive to students without lowering academic standards? Student-centered learning is sometimes understood simply as a set of modern teaching methods. In my view, it's much more than that. It's an institutional capacity to design education around the real diversity of learners. Students differ in their professional experience, family responsibilities, digital competences, learning histories, and individual needs. Therefore, institutions, I mean universities, colleges, schools, need flexible learning paths, appropriate digital modes, reliable quality evidence, and systems that build trust between students, teachers, and institutions, of course. This approach is also reflected in the draft ESG 2027 standards in European Union, which connect student-centered education with flexibility, recognition of competences, diversity, and international cooperation. A working definition for today. Let me begin with this short definition. Student-centered learning means moving from the simple delivery of content towards designing conditions in which students can actively construct their knowledge and competences. In a traditional teacher-led model, the program timetable and assessment may be organized mainly around institutional conveniences. Students are often expected to receive and reproduce information. In a student-centered model, the student has an active role. Students prepare, participate, collaborate, solve problems, and reflect on feedback. However, student-centered learning does not mean that students decide everything or that academic requirements become less demanding. The correct concept is guided autonomy, The institution provides flexibility, but also clear learning outcomes, academic guidance, transparent assessment criteria, and appropriate support. Therefore, flexibility is not the opposite of standards, of academic standards. Properly designed flexibility must itself be quality assured. So, student-centered learning means guided autonomy, not the absence of academic structures. Practice-oriented higher education, it's the design problem. This distinction is especially important in practice-oriented higher education. At our institution, Tarnowska Szkoła Wyższa College in Tarnów, many students combine education with employment, professional development, and family responsibilities. Some commute from other towns in Poland. They may also have different levels of digital competences and different previous education experience. At the same time, our program must meet professional standards. Students need not only theoretical knowledge, but also practical competences, placements, project work, and preparation for employment. The institution must therefore respond to two realities, the reality of the student and the reality of the profession. Our response is not to reduce the program. It is to organize it more intelligently. We use a predictable hybrid rhythm, synchronous online classes, digital learning resources, practical workshops, and continuous communication. Student-centered design begins not with an idealized image of an average student, but with a realistic understanding of constraints under which students actually learn. At Tarnowska Szkoła Wyższa College, we approach flexibility as an architecture rather than as a single solution. It consists of several connected elements you can see in this slide. First, students receive a predictable schedules, which allows them to plan professional and family responsibilities. Second, some classes are delivered online in real time, used for this of Zoom platform. This preserves direct interaction with teachers and other students. Third, the programs maintain a strong practice orientation through workshops, placements, case studies, and cooperation with professional stakeholders. Fourth, Moodle, e-learning platform, provides continuity between meetings by giving students access to materials, assignments, and academic communication. Fifth, the digital library supports independent learning and provides access to academic literature regardless of the student's physical location. Finally, students' feedback and quality assurance data allow us to evaluate whether the system is working. Flexibility, therefore, comes from the whole system: timetable, technology, teaching methods, support, and evidence. Digitalization is a central part of this model, but technology is not an educational objective in itself. Every digital tool should have a clearly defined pedagogical function. Zoom supports synchronous interaction. It allows students to ask questions during the lectures, participate in discussions, work with the teacher in real time, and remain part of academic community. Moodle e-learning platform supports asynchronous continuity. Students can return to materials, submit assignments, receive information, and prepare between meetings. The digital library supports independent study, access to current literature, and more equitable access to academic resources. The important point is that these tools perform different functions. They should complement one another rather than merely duplicate content. Effective digital pedagogy is therefore not about having the largest number of platforms. It is about aligning each tool with a learning outcome, a communication need, or a student support function. So, to reassume, technology should extend academic interaction, not replace it. Flexibility and digitalization must operate with a continuous quality enhancement cycle. The draft ESG 2027 in European Union standards describe quality assurance as serving two connected purposes: accountability and enhancement. Accountability confirms that standards are being met. Enhancement means using evidence to improve the educational process. The cycle begins with planning, like everywhere, defining program objectives, learning outcomes, and appropriate methods of delivery. The institution then delivers the program through teaching, assessment, digital tools, and student support. The next stage, as you see, is evaluation. We should examine student feedback, progression, workload, assessment effectiveness, the learning environment, and the relevance of the program to professional and labor market needs. Finally, the institution must act on the evidence, review the programs, adjust methods, improve support, and communicate the changes. This final step is crucial, in my opinion. Collecting surveys is not enough. Students and staff need to see that feedback leads to visible institutional action, that if there is a need, we change methods, we change program, we adjust it to expectations. The quality loop is closed only when evidence results in action and that action is communicated. Assessment and student support are the principal safeguards of a flexible model. Assessment should verify whether students have achieved the intended learning outcomes. It should not merely confirm attendance or the reproduction of information. Before assessment, students should know the criteria, the task, the procedure, and the expected standards. During assessment, requirements should be applied fairly and consistently, regardless of the mode in which a student has participated in learning. After assessment, students should receive meaningful feedback. Feedback should not only justify a grade, it should also help the student understand how to improve. Student support is equally important. Administrative clarity, technical assistance, accessible resources, academic guidance, and transparent appeal procedures are not peripheral services. They are part of the learning environment. Flexibility becomes equitable only when students understand what is expected of them and know where to obtain support.
Okay, well, 1 minute more, yeah.
Yes,
Sorry.
I have just 2 slides.
Yes, thank you.
Based on our experience, our college experience, I would propose 5 principles that may be transferable across different national and institutional contexts. First, design education from real student constraints. Institutions should understand students' work, family responsibilities, mobility, health issues, digital access, and pure learning. Second, define the function of every digital tool. Technology should solve an identified educational or organizational problem. Third, protect academic standards through assessment design. 4, close the quality assurance loop visibly. Institutions should collect evidence, analyze it, introduce changes, and tell students and staff what has been changed. Fifth, treat students as partners. Students should participate not only by completing surveys, but also in program monitoring, review, and institutional improvement. And the last slide. Let me conclude with one proposition. Student-centered learning should be understood as an institutional promise. It's a promise to combine access with academic standards, flexibility, and digitalization with human support. A student-centered institution does not simply offer more options. It creates a coherent learning with diverse students can participate actively. The real measure of student-centered learning is therefore not the number of digital tools or flexible arrangement. It is whether students are able to learn actively, demonstrate meaningful competences, and trust the quality of the educational process. Thank you very much for attention. I'm looking forward to discussion or questions.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Miss. It was a good insight about student-centered learning, yeah. It also became popular in Indonesia since the students will be more active in learning. So we are started to move from teacher-centered. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you.
Now we are delighted to move to the next keynote speaker, Dr. Vesna Tunyansky. Hello, Dr. Vesna? Yes. Okay, thank you for the operator. Let me introduce Dr. Vesna. Our distinguished keynote speaker, Dr. Vesna Tunyansky, is a business continuity management expert and researcher from Serbia. With more than 20 years of experience in the banking continuity, project management, and organizational resilience. She is also an active researcher with over 40 scientific publications and serves as a honorary research fellow at INTI International University. Please welcome Dr. Vesna Tunyansky.
Thank you so much. Let me share my screen and we can start.
Hello, Miss Vesna.
Do you see my presentation?
Oh, yeah.
Is it visible now?
Not yet.
May I get your help?
The material, but I could see your beautiful face. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So presentation is not visible.
Yes.
Okay. Dear Professor Yoga, distinguished colleagues, policymakers, academic leaders, partners in education, ladies and gentlemen, it is both a privilege and a distinct honor to join this conference hosted in Indonesia, a country whose cultural diversity and digital ambition demonstrate that education is always shaped through the interplay of people, communities, and institutional values. My name is Vesna Tornjanski and I come from Serbia. My introductory slide provides a brief overview of my background and contact information. Given our limited time, I welcome the opportunity to connect with you after this session. Although Serbia and Indonesia are separated by great distances, our friendship has always flowed across the waters that divide us, like two rivers from different landscapes, carrying the stories and traditions of their people. Our nations meet in the same ocean of mutual respect, understanding, and shared aspirations. Our heritage may be different. Serbia's warmth and hospitality and Indonesia's diversity and harmony, yet the same current connect us. The belief that people, cultures, and ideas grow stronger when they come together. Today, this conference builds another bridge between our societies, reminding us that education is not only the sharing of knowledge, but the meeting of hearts and minds. Now, let's dive into the question that shapes the future of education. Emerging technologies are reshaping the landscape of education, transforming how knowledge is created, shared, and experienced. As we navigate this new horizon, the question that guides us is not whether education will transform, but how we can ensure that this transformation continues to nurture human potential and flourishing. Across the world, investments in digital infrastructure and innovation are opening new possibilities. Yet, the true opportunity lies beyond digitization, in building learning ecosystems that are adaptive, that are inclusive, and connected. Education stands at a defining moment nowadays, where technology can expand human capability, strengthen communities, and help shape a future where learning remains a lifelong journey. Education is no longer contained within institutional boundaries. Learning now unfolds across formal education, informal education, workplaces, digital environments, professional networks, and everyday social contexts. This evolution reflects a structural transformation in how knowledge and competencies are developed. Global reform trajectories demonstrate how this shift is taking shape with growing confidence and impact. For example, Estonia has established a digitally integrated education system that combines national digital infrastructure, school-level autonomy, and early integration of intelligent technologies. Singapore, on the other hand, has advanced toward competency-driven education systems that prioritize creativity, problem-solving, and adaptive skill development alongside academic excellence. Third example is Japan. Japan has empowered its education model through active learning and collaborative learning communities that embed inquiry, ethical reflection, and shared responsibility within classroom practice. And India has advanced large-scale transformation through national policy reform and foundational learning initiatives that integrate literacy, inclusion, well-being, and digital access as interconnected priorities. Across these diverse contexts, a shared strategic direction becomes very visible. The organization of education is gradually shifting from system-centered design toward learner-centered ecosystems. And this shift reflects movement from standardized structures toward adaptive configurations, from linear progression toward lifelong learning pathways, from centralized control toward distributed participation, and from information transmission toward knowledge creation. Within this evolving landscape, one fundamental principle remains the same. Education maintains its identity as a deeply human process of meaning-making, development, and social participation. Equity in education has traditionally been defined through access. Access to institutions, access to qualifications, access to technology. And these dimensions remain fundamental pillars of educational system. However, contemporary digital transformation requires a broader understanding of equity. It now includes digital literacy, accessibility, inclusive learning design, and meaningful participation in digital environments. Equal access to technology alone does not ensure equitable learning opportunities. Equity must therefore be understood as a systemic condition that supports fairness across the entire learning journey, from participation and progression to recognition and outcomes. What have we learned? International experience demonstrates that educational transformation does not follow a single model. It reveals complementary approaches that illuminate different dimensions of system change. Estonia illustrates how digital governance and institutional autonomy can coexist with high equity and strong performance outcomes. Singapore demonstrates how recalibrating assessment structures toward competency development empowers both academic achievement and socio-emotional learning. Japan highlights how collaboration, ethics, and reasoning form core national competencies within modern education systems. And India illustrates how large-scale reform can integrate foundational literacy, inclusion, and well-being into a unified national strategy. Across these systems, a consistent set of strategic priorities emerges. Sustainable transformation integrates technological development, teacher capacity, governance structures, inclusive design, and long-term educational purpose. This slide highlights Japan's Giga School program. This program is one of the world's most ambitious digital education initiatives. By providing every student with a device, nationwide connectivity, and digital learning environments, Japan created a strong foundation for educational transformation. Today, the focus has shifted toward cloud systems, digital ecosystems, and personalized learning. However, Japan's experience also shows that technology alone is not enough. Successful transformation depends on teacher support, institutional readiness, and strong pedagogy. The key message is that Technology can enable change, but teachers and educational values remain at the heart of quality education. This slide explores three key messages. First, the importance of responsible digital governance. Second, the value of diversity in creating stronger learning systems. And third, the need to combine data with human wisdom to keep people at the heart of educational process and education itself. Cross-national experience shows that sustainable educational transformation depends on several key conditions: strong and inclusive digital infrastructure, continuous development of teacher and institutional capacity, long-term policy commitment, transparent and ethical governance, and digital literacy as a shared societal capability. Technology can accelerate transformation, but institutions are here to sustain it, and human agency are here to give it purpose and meaning. Education is no longer defined by the question of whether we embrace digital transformation or not, but by how we guide it with wisdom, purpose, and care. The choices we make today in our policies, in our schools, and our communities will shape whether technology becomes a pathway toward greater equity, inclusion, and human potential. The true promise of innovation is not only found in creating smarter technologies, but in nurturing wiser learning environments and more connected societies. The future of education will be carried forward by technology, yet it will be illuminated by humanity. Technology can transform how we learn, but people give learning its meaning, its direction, and its soul. In the end, the greatest achievement of education is not the creation of intelligent systems, but the cultivation of a more thoughtful, compassionate, and flourishing world. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your attention.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, yeah, it is a delighted material, about different education systems from different countries, just like Japan. Japan has already served their citizens about the good educational system. Okay, and educational equity is no longer defined solely by access, Okay, thank you, Dr. Vesna, for the material, and let's move to the last speaker in this part.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Please, the CV. Hello, Associate Prof. Mensenina Svetlana Grigorovna. Hello, are you there? Prof.
Yes, I'm
Mensenina?
here.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here. I'm trying to turn on the video. Well, I started the video. Yes.
No, let
Hello.
me. Hello. Yes.
Hello, dear
Let
colleagues.
me introduce your biography first. Yeah. Okay. Associate Prof. Mensenina Svetlana Grigorovna, PhD, is a distinguished educator from Samara State Technical University, Russia. With over 20 years of experience in foreign language education and more than 40 publications, her work focuses on innovative language teaching and professional development. Please welcome Dr. Mensenina.
Thank you very much. Can I share my presentation myself, or will you help me? Will you give me a hand with that?
Yeah, you can choose. Do you want to share it by yourself?
Let me try to do it myself.
Yes, okay.
One. Can you see it?
Yes, greening the
Is it
curriculum.
visible?
Yeah,
Yes.
visible. Yes.
Visible, but
The
how?
time allocation is only 10 minutes. Yeah, sorry, ma'am. Yeah.
Yes, that's
Yes,
fine.
okay.
Yes. So can I start with the first slide? Okay, good day already, distinguished colleagues, dear participants, honored guests of the conference, and thank you very much, Professor Yoga Prihatin, for inviting me for this conference. And this is the second time when I'm speaking and sharing my experience with Indonesian colleagues and colleagues all over the world. Thank you so much again for this opportunity. And it is a great honor to address this international audience on the topic that is presented on my slide, greening the curriculum, integrating sustainability into university education. I am presenting Samara State Technical University, and this topic was chosen because this is no longer a periphery of academic debate. This is already a university development of future participants of the world activity of our students, and greening the curriculum is very important nowadays. Everybody addressed to this topic. That's why we believe that this education, ecological education, should be introduced into the program of main educational programs, or even educational additional educational programs or additional educational activities students should be involved to this kind of activities. I would like to focus on the Russian context and my university practice, because the Russian case shows how sustainability can develop not only as an abstract educational idea, but as an institutional practice. In Russia, the progress is increasingly supported by university initiatives, students' engagement, and by the Green University ranking, which helps institutions measure and improve their ecological performance. So it is difficult to switch between the screens, but I would like to share, maybe at the end of my presentation, I would share the screen with the site of this independent Green University ranking of Russia, which exists separately from the World Green Metric, but our universities also participate in the World Green Metrics, and Samara State Technical University is also in this rank, in this list. Okay, in Russia, environmental problems and sustainable development have become more visible in higher education as universities respond to new expectations from students, staff, and society. Leading Russian universities are already implementing energy-saving programs, waste management systems, renewable energy practices, and environmental awareness activities. Some institutions have created dedicated sustainability unit. This is important because Russian universities are not only educational organizations, they are also major social institutions with large campuses, significant resource consumption, and strong influence on regional development. Well, for example, our university is a flagship university in Samara, and we have different technologies and developments which will further be introduced into the industry of the region and in Russia. And that's why it is important. Nowadays, every step towards sustainability in higher education has a dual effect. First, it improves the campus itself, and also it shapes students' values, professional identity, and civic responsibility. Greening the curriculum means more than adding one environmental course. It means making sustainability a principle that can reflect in course content, teaching methods, research agendas, campus governance, and students' life also.
Okay, sorry, ma'am. In my screen,
sorry.
it's still in the first slide.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because
Okay, it's okay.
do it manually, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, many Russian universities and green agenda. Green in the curriculum. Sorry, Russian universities and green agenda. A particularly important Russian instrument in this area is ranking of green universities. It is the first Russian ranking of ecological higher education institutions and the tool for promoting sustainable development and environmental culture for universities. The ranking evaluates whether a university implements green economy and sustainability principles in practice. The criteria can be seen on the screen. These are energy efficiency, resource conservation, and so on. I should note that in 2025, our university was the second in the top after Ufa University, which is a great honor for us. This green ranking is very important because it is not simply a symbolic activity. It helps universities identify strengths and gaps, compare practices, and build an evidence-based sustainability profile. In other words, it turns environmental ambition into measurable institutional improvement. To make this long story short, I should also say that, of course, there are some gaps, there are some drawbacks, and there are some problems. For example, lack of funding, a lack of clear strategies, weak coordination between different participants. But we try to do our best to improve ecological education and to involve students and the staff of the university into all these ecological activities. Well, I think I would get down to our university's practice. I should say that we have majors in ecology. Our university trains future ecologists, and we have a dedicated ecological department that measures how ecological principles are introduced into new developments. And also, as a part of leadership track that our university practice, students can choose ecological activity as additional extracurricular activity. And we also, our university is also noted with the students activity who participate in different ecological activities in our city and all over Russia. So as for curriculum development, the Russian experience suggests several practical lessons, and our university implements it. This is, first of all, environmental studies and sustainable development of campuses, students' dormitories, and the campus, the buildings, and the production sites as well. Okay, to conclude, I think this is already time. To conclude, greening the curriculum in Russia is no longer a marginal initiative. It is becoming part of a broader transformation of higher education. Ecological programs, ecological extracurricular activities are widely introduced into practices. And Russian universities are increasingly trying to be in trend, as greening is a trend nowadays. We try to enhance the awareness among students and staff. And I think that sustainability structures built into the programs will help us to enhance, again, the awareness and ecological level of ecological development of students. Okay, that is all that I wanted to say. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you so much. Sorry to make you in hurry. Yeah.
No. This is not about you. This is about me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. If you have questions, I would be happy to answer them.
Yes, okay. Well, 4 speakers in the second session have already finished delivering their materials. For next, I invite the participants to raise hands, open the microphone, and mention to whom your question is addressed, or you can type your questions in chat box. Yeah. Anggun Fitriani? Mbak Anggun or yes?
Yes, Miss, thank you.
Miss Mensalina, can you share off your screen? Okay, thank you. Ya, Mbak Anggun.
Thank you, Miss. My name is Anggun Fitriani, and I am from the Pancasila and Civic Education Study Program. I would like to ask Dr. Yusuf Bakil. The question is, what governance model would best reconcile local responsiveness, accountability, and national educational coherence? Thank you.
Okay, the first question is for Dr. Yusuf Bakil. Yeah. Okay, we keep the question, the first question, and let us move to the second question so that the speaker can prepare the answer. Yeah. Second question from Laura Fauliza.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for giving me opportunity to ask a question. My name is Laura Fauliza Zulfina from Universitas Pancasakti Tegal, Indonesia. I would like to address my question to Dr. Carolina. Good afternoon, Dr. Carolina. Thank you for your insightful presentation. I would like to ask, considering the different educational context between Poland and Indonesia, what recommendation would you give to Indonesian universities that are beginning to implement student-centered learning? Thank you.
Okay, the second question is for Dr. Carolina. Yeah. One more question. Yes, Dika. Okay, yeah. Dika, hello. Do you want to deliver the question?
Yes, Miss.
Okay.
Okay, so let me introduce myself again. My name is Dika Ananda Julianto. I am from English Education Department, Universitas Pancasila Tegal, Indonesia. I would like to address my questions to the Honorable Dr. Youssef. I think the presentation is about uh, education in rural communities. So I would like to ask, uh, because I've never been to Morocco before, maybe my question is more of a just curiosity. What is the biggest difference between the educational on Morocco on rural areas and maybe on the cities? What is the difference? Thank you, Miss.
Okay, thank you, Dika. Perhaps it is not only in Morocco, yeah. Perhaps it also could
Could
be
be in general
delivered
also.
to other countries, yeah,
Yes.
in Poland or
Yes.
Serbia or others, yeah.
Correct, Miss.
Yeah, okay. The first question, okay, Mr. or Dr. Yusuf. Hello. Halo, Dr. Yusuf Bakil. Okay. I couldn't see Dr. Yusuf here. Yeah, perhaps he had some technical problem in the internet network. Yeah. So we move to the second question to Dr. Carolina. Yeah. Yeah, Dr. Carolina.
Sorry. Okay, do you hear me now?
Yes, it's clear.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't know, I had a problem with turning on the audio solution. So thank you very much for the question and for your attention. You ask for some kind of implementation into Indonesian system solution from Poland or European. As Dr. Yoga mentioned, of course, centered learning system is working in Indonesia. What is my principal advice? It's a recommendation maybe. Never copy solutions mechanically, but we should adapt them to the Indonesian context, institutional missions, and first of all, students' profile. What we should start, or for example, you could start with careful diagnosis of students' real needs. So what are the expectations accordingly to access to technology, family, professional responsibilities, learning habits, and barriers to participation? I would also strongly recommend conducting regular student surveys. In my opinion, questions, yes, that are giving by university, of course, in anonymical system. So they are essential for identifying students' real needs, barriers, and first of all, expectations. Of course, there will be, as a result, the group of students that, for example, prefer to have more classes online, yes? And of course, there will be another group of students that prefer to have more classes on site, yes? But thanks to this, thanks to surveys, thanks to questions and answers that are addressing to students, we get knowledge which solutions, which procedures, mechanism will be I don't know, maybe not universal, because we cannot create universal solutions, yes, that are fit for everyone. But for the major part of student will be the best solution. Surveys should not be treated as a formal exercise. The result should be analyzed, discussed with academic staff, and translated into concrete improvements. Students should also be informed about what has changed as a result of their feedback. So if they give us a feedback as a university, we should give them back information. Finally, I would recommend creating a visible feedback loop. Universities should conduct regular student surveys, analyze the result, introduce concrete improvements, and communicate these changes. In my view, the safest approach is to begin with a small pilot program, evaluate the results, and then scale up the solution to prove effective. It's my general advice and recommendation. We cannot implement everything automatically. We must, yes, we must cut it and organize it, referring to local and national needs and students' needs.
Well, okay. One of the best solution is by distributing surveys or questionnaires, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
yes.
closed and open-ended. Yeah.
Yes, but the very important is to use the platform that prove the anonymical. Yes, because,
okay.
for example, when some colleges or universities give questions and want answers, and they organize it through Google. There are few students that take part because they are afraid that sometimes in Google technology the institution may see the personal information, personal data of the person who is giving the answers. So students don't want to take part in it because they are afraid. But there are other platforms. Unfortunately, fortunately, they are paid, but they guarantee absolutely anonymously, gathering answers from students without gathering the personal data. So students feel comfortable, and finally, we as a college, as a university, we receive the answers really honest.
Yeah, we do agree. What about you, Laura? Hope it can give you some insightful recommendation, yeah?
That was a very valuable insight, and I was really appreciate your answer, Dr. Carolina. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Dr. Carolina. And next question from Dika. Yeah, since Dr. Yosef been away, yeah, perhaps the question could be for Dr. Mensanina, sorry, or Dr. Fenska. Okay, Dr. Vesna. Hello, Dika. You still there?
Yes, Miss.
Okay.
Okay, maybe I'll change to the what is it? Speaker. Yes, Miss.
Yeah. Can you repeat the question, Dika?
Okay. Is it okay if I repeat the same questions before, Miss?
Yeah, but you can change the country, yeah.
Okay. Maybe because this is a what is it, conference about educations. One of my curiosity and questions is what is the biggest difference that we can found in some because there's a lot of speakers from several countries here,
Serbia and Russia.
Serbia and also Russia. What is the difference on rural education, education on rural areas, and also in the city? What is the biggest difference? Because in Indonesia there are also rural communicate education in rural communities. So I would like to see whether the difference is going to be the same here in Indonesia or no. That's it, Miss.
Okay. Dr. Vesna, can you please give us some insights from your country's perspective?
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much for this question. Although I'm not from educational sector, I have extensive research regarding this subject, and especially in preparation for this conference. According to my understanding and exploration, we have a very similar situations that educational system, whether in Indonesia or in Serbia, is still stuck in the setup of previous century. That is my first impression. Educational institutions and general concept is shifted and centralized in big cities, while in rural places we have very traditional approach, and majority referring to basic educational level. So this transformation in my presentation when this subject is in question, and it relates to human-centered digital learning ecosystem, requires complete transformation, including the way of thinking, mindset, and culture, of course, along with local priorities and other readiness items that are very necessary and required, taking into account that this model and experience have shown from Japan that besides digital transformation and technology part, another important part that is very important refers to people, to teachers, to institutions, and overall society inclusion to truly develop a human-centric approach in the period to come. I don't know whether I have answered on this question. I gave my best.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah.
I remain at your disposal if any other clarifications are needed.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Vesna.
If you let me, I would like to add, or I have one more remark on the question.
Okay, please.
Can I? Okay.
Yes.
So I think from the yes, there are some differences in Russia. Of course, there are some differences in education provided in rural areas and in megapolises and in city areas. I think there are some constraints, there are some barriers in technical, from the technical point of view, they don't have enough technical equipment, and their level of educators also. In-depth programs, I think, are not taught in the rural areas, though they are more subject-centered. For example, some agricultural spheres, agricultural subjects, or some technical subjects can be taught even better than in city areas because they are more practical there. So this is my opinion. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. How was it, Dika?
I think getting the answer from these amazing speakers already fulfilled my curiosity across these countries. Thank you, Miss.
Yeah, thank you, Miss Mensanina, and also Dika. Yeah. Okay, well, four speakers in the second session have already finished delivering their materials. We are very glad to receive so many questions from you, but due to the time limitation, we are going to go to the end of our discussion session. Yeah. Okay, operator, can you please show the certificate? Yeah, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we have finally come to the end part of this international conference on digital literacy pedagogy in teacher education, or ICOTION 2026, Faculty of Teacher Training and Education. Before I close this session, I would like to invite the keynote speakers from second session to get the certificate of our appreciation. Give applause to our outstanding speakers. Yeah, thank you. You can give some reactions, yeah, to our outstanding speakers. The first certificate of appreciation is to certify that Dr. Yosef Bakil has participated as keynote speaker in the ICOTION 2026. Thank you, Dr. Yosef Bakil. Next. Yeah. The next certificate, yeah, of appreciation goes to Master-in-Law and Advocate Carolina Lemanska. Yeah, thank you for being the
keynote speaker in this ICOTION 2026. Yeah, you got so many reactions from the audiences. Yeah, thank you so much. And then next. Okay, the third certificate of appreciation goes to Nah, okay. This is to certify that associate prof. Not this one. Come on, operator. Okay, this one. Yeah. Sorry. The certificate of appreciation goes to Dr. Vesna Toriansky. Yeah, has participated as keynote speaker in the ICOTION 2026. Thank you. Give reactions. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And the last certificate goes to, yeah, Associate Professor Mensanina Svetlana Grigorieva that has participated as keynote speaker in the ICOTION 2026. Thank you all of the keynote speakers for their insightful materials and also giving us some feedbacks and deliver, the answers, yeah, to the audiences. Hope to see you again next time, yeah, in the next agenda. And the dean will say something.
Thank you so much, the moderator, our beloved moderator, Ibu Anin. Well, thank you so much for being here today with us, Professor Svetlana, Professor Carolina, and Professor Vesna. We are very honored to have you as our keynote speakers here. Everybody, all of my students inform me that they learned a lot from all of your presentations. Thank you so much and keep in touch. Hopefully in the near future, we'll work together again in a educational collaboration. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Professor Yoga. It was my honor and pleasure to being with you here today. Thank you for this amazing opportunity and the environment and all participants who actively contributed to the inclusion of this amazing event. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Professor Svetlana, would like to say something?
Yes, thank you so much for giving the opportunity to share our knowledge, to share the knowledge and to share our achievements of our Russian university with international community. Thank you so much for inviting me to your conference.
Thank you. And Professor Carolina, please.
Thank you very much one more time for this valuable opportunity to take part in conference. And thank you, Professor Yoga, Universitas Pankasakti Tegal, and all the participants for this inspiring discussion. It has been a pleasure to join you today. And I hope that our exchange will lead to the future cooperation and new ideas. Thank you very much.
Thank
Warm
you so
regards
much.
from Krakow.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There is, okay. Yeah, one of the participants wants to take photo together with our outstanding speakers. Can we do that? Okay, for the operator. Yeah, I will count it down from 3 to 1 and then you click. Yeah, okay. Yes, participants and also outstanding speakers, let us take picture together. 3, 2, 1. Okay, how many slides do we have? Nanti aja mindahnya. Baca ya. Okay, next slide. 3, 2, 1. Sudah ya? Okay, thank you very much for the outstanding speakers, yeah, and also for the great participants. See you next
Bye-bye.
time,
Hi,
yeah.
thank you.
And
Thank you,
thank
bye-bye.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Jingle
Bye-bye.
FSP. Yeah. Thank you, participants.